Mistakes is something we all do. We make them every day. Everyone does it. Big, small, we make them. Sometimes you make a mistake that affects you 10 years down the line. Sometimes you make a mistake that you carry the guilt of for ages and ages. Sometimes you make a mistake that can alter your life. Sometimes you can mistake that you can just fix on the spot. But you make them. You will make them forever. And it's a bitter pill to swallow. It's a bitter pill to swallow, but you will make them forever. Now, your job is, when you do make the mistake, is to not make that mistake again and again and again and again. There are a lot of things you can mess up on, but making the same mistake multiple times is not a mistake anymore. It's a choice. And that can sometimes be a very bitter pill to swallow, because you need to take accountability for the things you're doing, the things you've done. Putting your hands up and really owning up to what you've messed up on is a very hard thing, and a lot of people really don't know how to do it. Because a lot of people will say, oh, I've made a mistake, but this and but that. But at the end of the day, you are the controller of what you do, your actions, your thoughts, everything. So if you make the action, you make the mistake, you have to own up to it. You have to make sure that you can really go, look, I made this mistake, this was all me. I'm a big believer in, no matter what you do in this life, there should always be a path to redemption. That you should be able to try and make things right, even if you can't, right? I really, I look at, there was a video of a boy that had shot and killed another boy, and when he went to call, the mum pretty much adopted this kid in a way, and she kind of raised him from the outside. Obviously he was in prison, and they had a really good relationship, and obviously that kid got unbelievably lucky with that person, that mum, that didn't want two lives to go to waste. And a lot of people will think that that is really not what we should be doing, right? We should have locked him away, thrown the keys away, right? Which I can definitely understand as well. But for me, I put myself in the mum's shoes, and you think about all the emotions she's thinking, all the things that are going through her head. What she understood was, people make bad choices in this life. It doesn't mean that they should be punished for the rest of their life. Now, they should have to live with what they've done, but they shouldn't have to be punished for the rest of their life. They should be able to try and make good on what they can. He can never bring this other boy back to life. He's gone now. He has to live with that. That is his punishment. But to have the mum put so much love into this kid, it's amazing to see. He, if I'm not mistaken, he did pretty well. And I think he's still serving his sentence, but I think thanks to that mum, when he gets out, and however many years it is, 20, 30 years, he will have a shot at life. And I think that is amazing. It sucks what he did. It really, really does. Ending a life is horrific. I'm a big believer in, if you get hit, turn the other cheek. As a kid, I didn't think that. I thought eye for an eye. But the thing is, I grew up doing eye for an eye a hell of a lot. And it never brought me anywhere of happiness. It always brought me to the point of sadness and negativity and just more pain. If you've made a mistake and you're holding that with you right now in your heart and you're like, oh, I really messed up here, just know that there are people out there that will accept your mistake and try help you move past it, and also not see that they'll see who you are and not just your mistake or the choice you made. I think a lot of the things that we do in this life are as a result of our surroundings, how we grew up. But that doesn't mean that we can't make our own choices. That doesn't mean that we need to keep making the same mistake over and over and over again. We do not need to be our environment. We do not need to make the same mistakes as everyone else around us growing up did. I've said this before and I'll say it again. The person I am, the person I was a few years ago, was a result of how I grew up, the people around me, and the things I did. But that is not an excuse to stay that way. Yes, it got me there. Yes, the way I grew up is an excuse for how I was, but not how I stay. Never. It will never be an excuse for how I stay. And I have vowed to myself that I will be the best version of myself when I die. That is my ultimate goal. To be the best possible version of myself. Because the people that love me deserve that from me. The love they've poured into me. All these people, teachers, partners, friends, family, over the years, I've had so much love poured into me. And I've ignored it or not took notice to it. But I understand that me pushing people away when they love me is me saying I don't need their love. Saying that I'm okay by myself. Saying that I'm independent. But the reality is I'm scared, I guess. I want to be the best version of me for everyone that loves me, because they deserve that. But I'm finally doing it for me as well. I used to do everything for someone else, for how they wanted to see me, for how they wanted me to be. But now, although I'm doing it for them, it's in my image, how I want to be, how I want to hold myself up, the level I want to be at. Yeah. I'll speak to you guys tomorrow. Bye.